Good afternoon, guys, and happy Friday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, we're leaving for Matthew's last football game of the year, probably of his career. It's just so sad, guys. 11 years ago, Matthew started playing football, flag football, wearing his little hockey-looking helmets, and yeah, he started as quarterback, and my dad coached, and you guys, it's emotional today because, like, it's the last football game again. I don't know if he's gonna play in college. He doesn't sound too sure about it. He's like, oh, I'm not good enough. But I don't even think it's so much that. I don't know. I mean, I think he would want to play, but I don't know. I don't know if he, like, wants to do that either. Like, I feel like if he was like, oh, if I had a scholarship or something like that, but there's like a lot of schools that have been like sending him stuff specifically because of him being in football, but he also plays two sports. He also plays volleyball too. So there was, like, I know he did post about some stuff too on this like scouting website or something like that about him playing volleyball. But anyways, guys, I'm getting off topic here. Yeah, we've got that. It's actually literally about 5 minutes away from my aunt and uncle's house, so I don't know if they're gonna come. My dad or my mom's gonna send one of them a text message and let them know that it's there. Like, we let them know last minute, but just if they're not doing anything or whatever, like I said, it's like 5 minutes away from their house. So and it's far away for us. It's like about an hour, or a little less than that. But yeah, they live, like, it's the high school's like right next to their house. I didn't even realize either, but I was looking up yesterday and I was like, that neighborhood's their neighborhood. And I was like, they live like right there. So yeah, anyways, though, we're gonna head out, guys, and I will record some film for you guys, probably the last time.
Nizi, turn around!
We got back from the football game. They ended up losing. I think the final was 35-8, I think, was the final score, which was also kind of sad because actually originally everybody was kind of like, oh, this team's gonna like crush us and stuff like that, which they kind of did, but their record was actually only this, it was the exact same as ours, so we were like, oh, like we actually had a chance, but it didn't. There were some horrible calls by the referees, honestly. They weren't like calling anything that was like difficult. Like our quarterback ended up coming out because he ended up with, it was a blatant helmet to helmet. We got so many personal or unsportsmanlike penalties because of like, well, their team too, but again, the referees need to call certain penalties just to keep the game under control. And like, you know, if there's holding and stuff like that, when you don't, if it's constant and you don't throw a flag for it, then kids kind of start to take it upon themselves to right that wrong and set that thing straight, because they have a job, you know, if it's on defense or whatever, they're supposed to be getting through the line, or they're supposed to be getting through, you know, they're supposed to go and make the tackle, and when they're being held and prevented from being able to do that, or blocked in the back and, you know, being, you know, held so that they can't make a tackle or whatever, they're going to start righting those wrongs by themselves, and then it becomes this, you know, frustrating game where it becomes out of hand very quickly. And so, you know, that was kind of, again, one of those things where it wasn't until the end of the game that they actually started calling anything. And I think I actually recorded it. I think there was actually 2 penalties that was right in front of the referee. Well, there was 3. Two of them I think were called. One was right in front of one of the referees. This guy didn't want to throw any flags. The other one that was on our sidelines threw 2 flags. One was for Matthew, and there was another one, I think, at a different time. But with the exception of that, there was not a lot of flags being thrown, honestly. And then it was really stupid because they'd end up getting, like, you know, even when they did, it was like, again, towards the end of the game, this ended up happening. Pretty much everything was after the second half. They ended up getting like an offsides, or they ended up getting like illegal procedure or a holding penalty or something like that, which is like 5-10 yards or something like that, depending on which one it is. And then all of a sudden we end up with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty because some kid said something or did something after the play was over, because he's frustrated because it's been happening all game, and then we end up, you know, negating those yards that we would have gotten or something like that. And then sometimes too, though, there'd be 2 flags, and we get one from our kid and one from the other team, so then those would offset, and then we might get the, you know, other penalty or whatever it was. So it was a little frustrating. It was really warm out today, guys, which is weird because I'm kind of sad. It's like the last year of football, and that's kind of what this year is, the last year of football. And, like, we haven't had any super cold football games. I mean, it was actually really a nice game out, which is awesome, but it wasn't football weather. Like, I'm used to being all bundled up, gloves on. You know, I haven't even had to break out my earmuffs yet this year. Like, honestly, it hasn't been that cold yet. And so, you know, all that kind of stuff, it's just like, I'm just so sad, guys. It's the last game in a whole era. Matthew was bawling, and so many of his other friends were too. I mean, just like tears, like not because they lost or anything like that, but just because it's their last game ever, that, you know, for the majority of them they're ever gonna play as a Wildcat, and they're ever going to play, you know, I mean, unless they go to college where they're the Wildcats, but, you know, for the most part, those kids that played in, you know, youth football were playing to go to the high school to play for the same, you know, team, and everything like that. And so it's like, it's the end of a whole era of football. And we were watching some old, again, guys, we stayed up a little too late tonight, which we have football practice tomorrow morning before the game. We just have a walkthrough like at 9 o'clock or something like that, so Lord knows I'm going to be tired. But yeah, we ended up watching a couple of old videos and stuff like that, and listening to the parents who weren't coaches, but who sat up in the booth, who were on the sidelines and stuff like that. Just listening to them is like, they were like, they not coaches, but they were like so involved, I guess is what I'm trying to say, like in the things they would say and like, you know, everything like that. I mean, like sometimes it wasn't always positive stuff. Like we were watching Matthew's homecoming game from the year they actually won the Super Bowl, which long story guys, but it didn't end well and it was Matthew's fault. It was honestly devastating when it happened, but we joke about it still to this day. It's actually hilarious now because it's over and he wrote the wrong by having a big game in the Super Bowl when they won it. But yeah, they what was I gonna say? Like listening to all those parents like in the booth, because like one dad recorded, the other one was, you know, getting the clock, the other one's, you know, announcing, then you got another one that's just sitting up there yelling stuff, you know, and they're spotting to see which kids, you know, so they can announce and stuff like that. Like there's this whole slew of people that just came together and like are there for like those kids. And like even though like the majority of them aren't still there, there's actually one of the ladies was like she took a picture of those kids that did go to the Super Bowl together. There's only 8 left that played on the varsity team this year, which I don't know how many we had when we won the Super Bowl, but it couldn't have been like more than 20. So we had almost half of the team left on this football team. And you know, it's just like, I don't know, it's so sad guys. It's over and it's Matthew's last football game. Like he's done playing football, you know, after this, at least organized football again, unless he decides that he really truly does want to pursue a college football career, but he kind of really doesn't think he's going to. So yeah, that, we got Jack, and then we have Jack in high school. But again, I was telling you guys, it's a different atmosphere for like Jack's football team, because those kids weren't those same, you know, almost same 8 kids that grew up and, you know, finished this year together. And for the most part, the majority of them were the ones that started playing flag 70s, 80s, you know, again, the Super Bowl team that was there together, those were them. And yeah, guys, it's just kind of sad. Like this is the last one. So anyways though guys, like I said, I'm kind of rambling because it's kind of late. I need to take a shower and head to bed because crazy old me stayed up super late and got to go to football practice tomorrow. So I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.